Sister Prisca. Today, I want us to talk about something that has caused a lot of confusion in the life of many. It is something about migration. There are hidden and important things you need to know about migration. Migration is like a lucky dip. It depends on what you get. It is not meant for everyone. God may have prepared you to remain where you are, to aim the fruits that will sustain you in your daily life, the things that will make you to progress. Migration is not meant for everyone. Let that truth sink into your heart. And before we go into the topic of this day, I would want you to please subscribe to this channel if you have not yet subscribed. Share with others so that they too will enjoy this transmission and be able to learn something out of it. I am Sister Prisca Nwokorie in a moment with Sister Prisca. Here we go. The five hardest truths about migration. Many of us do not know what migration or living where you are tells. There are these truths that everyone wants to avoid telling you. Many may lure you into living where you are to go in for something you do not know about. You need to be wise. You need to reflect. You need to figure out things before you think about migration. And that is the reason I captioned this edition, The Five Hardest Truths About Migration. Every one of us is in search of better opportunities in life. But the most important thing is that you need to know what will work for you. There are hidden secrets about migration. There are truths about migration. Migration doesn't favor everyone. It favors only the selected few. And it is if God has prepared you to migrate. Some people have already been placed where they are. That is the reason they are making progress. But don't allow what you see in the life of others to lure you into getting yourself into something that may cost you. It is like a lucky dip. Whatever you get while affording it, it will now determine the choice you have already made. Migration can change your life, but it can slowly drain you if you are not careful. And the truth is that both can be true at the same time, but for different persons. Today, there are realities that we see, that we face about migration, but nobody is talking about it. Most times, people out of their own selfish interest may lure you into something, or yourself meant out of your own quest decide to migrate. These are things you need to sit down, reflect, think, consult persons, pray over it, and allow God to direct you. Migration is not for everyone. Yes, each day we come across persons who always tell us, I will make it only if I travel out of the country where I am. I will only make it if I relocate. Who told you? Probably God has blessed you in that land. It is not everyone. God may have used the same word he used on Abraham, as he said, leave your father's land to the land where I will show you. I will bless you. I will prosper you. Some persons, God have already blessed them where they are, but it's just because of disattention that makes them not to put in their best efforts where they are. Yes, there are things you need to know. It's either you migrate and save life, or you migrate and ruin everything you have already acquired. Migration is not for everybody, but the truth of the matter is that even when you say these truths, not everyone listens. Some may think that you telling them to be careful about the decisions they make is because you do not want them to progress, because you do not want them to succeed, because you do not want them to move forward. The truth is bitter most times, but it requires courage to say the truth, and it requires prudence to accept the truth. These are two things. Not everyone will tell you this hardest truth. Not everyone will help you to comprehend that there are a lot of things that are involved. It's not a question of you getting your visa, traveling out, or getting your documents and just see yourself living where you are. You may know what you're leaving behind, but what is following, you may not be able to know. You may sell everything you have just because you want to relocate, because you already have a project in your head that you want to achieve, but you do not know how long or how fruitful it may be. That journey, if not accompanied by God's own desire, if God has not approved it, everything will crumble. And that is the reason I just want to tell you the hardest truth about migration. Migration is always good, but it involves a lot of things. It's not just about the document, it's not about the visa, it involves a lot of things. Consult God in prayer so that He too will enlighten the eyes of your mind before you embark on such journey. I have come across persons who were doing well in places where they are, the job they do, the work they do, even in their home, no matter how archaic it had been. But when the thoughts about migration entered into their head, they no longer think about any other thing except every day dreaming about the unreal or dreaming about what is not yet clear to them. Yes, it is always good for everyone to dream about a better tomorrow, but the most important thing is to discern where your better tomorrow lies. It is better for you to know what and what are involved. In many countries, if you work hard, the system does not fight you. They give you what you aim and breaks your life changing. There are subsystems, even what you do, no matter how hard you work, you are paid little. And that is really frustrating most times in the system when governance is not balanced. And that is the reason most people, especially the youths, want to migrate. Your income potential depends more on where you are born than how hard you work. Okay, I am going to tell you beautiful things about migration. Migration is always good. Think about Abraham as he listened to the voice of God. Leave whatever you have, leave your father's land, and move to where I am going to show you. God directed Abraham, and he followed what the Lord has revealed to him, and he went with what he had, and God blessed him. God prospered him. Yes, it is a joyful news and a prayer for everyone to always succeed, so long as you have God's hand in whatever you are doing. The beautiful thing about migration is that migration offers you a better opportunity. It offers you better education, both for your children, for yourself, and even offers you safe environment long-term stability. That matters a lot. It offers you hope. It offers you job. It offers you even the medical attention. Everything about it works good. For those who really want to migrate, you need to prepare yourself because there are good things you will enjoy if you migrate properly and if you have the necessary things that are required in accordance with the laws of the land where you are migrating to. You may be migrating either for studies. Your mission may be either to go for a business or even to go and live. Whatever your need is about migration, it is always good. And that is the reason you need to prepare ahead of time before going. Migration offers you a lot of potentials. It offers you opportunity to use your God-given talents to work. And even as you work, you aim as you work and you are being paid by the system based on the work you do and the effort. You are sure of your monthly salary. You are sure of education. You are sure of medical attention. You are sure of security. These are the good aspects if actually you migrate and you are able to get the required things and live your happy life without stress. Even if you stress yourself, at the end of the month, you always get the reward of what you have struggled or what you have invested your time in the income that comes to you. That is the beautiful aspect of it. And you have more opportunities to invest and to learn new things, to mix up, learn things that are going to help you. You progress. Yes, that is one of the beautiful aspects of migration. Now, I want to tell you some of the things nobody have told you, or if they may have told you, they are not saying it clearly how it should be. The dangers in migrating, many don't talk about it. Some may have talked about it, but many have kept deaf ear in listening to it. When you do not have the important documents required, you will see yourself stopped on the way. That is the reason the life of a migrant is not always stable. When you go or travel without the proper documents, you are not safe. It's just like you leaving safety to go and meet unsafe environments. That could be very hard. And most times it is a decision once you have dipped your hand, it is very difficult to remove it because you find yourself in an uncomfortable situation, in an uncomfortable arena, in a place where you never prepared yourself. And when you do not have the documents, remember, it will not be easy for you to return back to where you have started your journey because you will require official documents. Your visa, your passport has to be in order before you travel legally. When your migration would endanger you is when you travel and you do not have the basic needs, the basic things you need. Because before traveling, you must have some money with you. But the question is that even if you think you have more than enough, living abroad is not easy. Do you know what the house rent could be like? Who will guarantee you? Who will shut? Maybe who is going to be the one that will tell you, yes, I offer you this shop. Everything requires preparation. Don't fall a victim of what You do not plan ahead. Now, I will unveil the hardest truth about migration. Migration is always beautiful, but you need to prepare yourself. You need to prepare yourself by knowing these things. Where you are traveling to, you need to know the language. Even if they speak the same language as you do, they have their rules and regulations. The rules and regulation has to be obeyed. It is something, a must. And failure to do that, you will land yourself into trouble. And that is not pleasant. Migration requires you to be over prepared. You need to prepare yourself, not just with the documents. You need to have technical things it involves. You need to prepare yourself of the things you're going to do. It's not just like stumbling into a place that just all of a sudden begin to understand, okay, I am going to invest myself in this place. You need to be qualified in order to do something. Your qualification may not count at the initial time, but the experience may not translate what you already have in your mind. For that reason, you may earn less if you are not prepared before going, because you find yourself doing jobs that you never dreamt of doing. It's not about you migrating, it's about you finding safety where you are. Because if you don't have the necessary things that you require, you land yourself into places you never desired. There is always something you have to bear in mind. Migration can be lonely. You can lose, or you may even invest everything you have just for you to travel. And at the end of the day, it's not enough. And you will not land yourself to where you less desired. And migration can be lonely if you do not know where you're going. If you just only allow yourself to be guided by only fortune. I am going to tell you important things you need to know about migration. Before migrating, you need to sit down and calculate what actually do you desire. You need to, first of all, think about how to get your documents, work for it, and be able to make sure that you have your documents. You travel legally, you go by every means you desire to go, preferably by air or by sea, depending on where you see yourself. But you have to get your documents. You have to prepare yourself. Just know what are the things you can do that will be able to offer you better opportunities. You have to get your qualification. Now, especially, many people do language courses to enable them get used to the system before they arrive there. They prepare lots of courses. Many do language courses in order to help them understand. And you have to learn the rules and regulations of the country you are migrating to. Not only that, you have to learn skills that are going to offer you jobs. Not immediately that you travel, you will get a white collar job. You may even employ yourself by doing the work you know. Be creative. Living abroad is not a lazy man's land. If you do not have something that you will lay your hands on, you will regret your going there. I will tell you stories. I have come across persons who their traveling had caused them so much. Many traveled through unsafe means, or they were being lured into traveling, or they themselves were the ones that lured themselves into such illusions about migration. They sold all they had, going out, thinking to join persons who would show them where best to go. But unfortunately, what they get is not what they needed. This is very, 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 very serious. There was a fellow I came across someday in along the supermarket. I just saw him, a very young man. He was just standing by the supermarket and with his face card, he was just asking, begging for money. He didn't utter any word. He was just, I approached him because I saw he was my color. And I asked, please, brother, where do you come from? Are you an African? He said, yes. Which nation? And he said, we're able to converse in a language I know. And I asked him some questions. He began to tell me his stories, and it was very pathetic. A friend convinced him that he is doing very well where he was, and he now decided to sell everything he had, even selling his father's own land property to make sure that he traveled. He traveled through means that they called a shortcut. He spent a lot of money, and they landed themselves in some places where they got inhuman treatment, and those things were very hard to tell. And in that process, he suffered majorly, both the kind of treatment he received, loneliness, there was no food sometimes, and until he landed himself where he is. Now, after spending years without fruit, what he had with him, he had already lost. And now, what happens? He wants to return to where he started his journey. But the possibility of him to travel is no longer there because he has no traveling documents. He lost his passport on the way, and there is no way he could get there. Some of these things, they think about it, there is nobody. Even if for them to go back to the embassy of their own country to get a new passport is a difficult task because they need to answer some questions. Why? Lack of passports. What is the evidence to prove that they traveled legally before coming out, or how they lost their documents? For somebody who do not have money with him, how would he succeed? Many of those who did not prepare well to migrate landed themselves into inhuman condition. Many of them are sleeping just at the bus stop. Many sleep at the train station with no protection. Many don't have even food to eat. They go begging. But they were in their home doing well. They could choose the food they ate. They could decide what day to go out. Days they could just stay back with their friends and family. But because they did not prepare themselves well, or they didn't know about the hidden secrets about migration, that migration is not for everyone. God may have blessed you where you are. Learn to discern. Learn to ask God to direct you before you migrate. Don't always think that it is only those who travel abroad that can make it. You may travel abroad and remain there for years without success. But if God has prepared you to end, to live better in your own country, don't overlook the voice in your heart. Your dream will be fulfilled where God has planted you, where God has already planned for you. God has a different timetable for you. It is not the same He has for others. Always ensure that you seek people's own advice, you seek people's own suggestion, you understand the culture and tradition of the land before you travel. Make sure you prepare yourself both in work because you have to learn a lot of creative work to enable you get to where you are. Your education qualification is also necessary if you need to further your education. Yes, you need to be strong, both your health and everything, and make sure your traveling requires a lot of prudence. Don't go because others are going. Think and reflect. You will make it wherever you are. If only you listen to the voice of God. If only you listen to that inner voice in you that is speaking with you. Because the hardest truth about migration is that some problems will get easier when you have the rightful way to solve them, when you have the good job, when you have the good accommodation, when you have a good placement. But without you having the proper things you need to get. Life could be lonely. It could be uncertain. You cannot tolerate a lot of things because you may not know where to fall back. And when you make such mistakes, it is irreparable most times. And many times you have to know that the biggest problem is not just about you living where you are. It's about you succeeding where you are. It's about you resisting and finding happiness where you are. For this reason, dearest one, you have to know that life is beautiful, but everything depends on how you live it, on how you do it. Listen to this. I left with a suitcase full of hope and a heart that did not know it would have to learn a new rhyme. Migration may give you distance from the life that you held back and hands you opportunities wrapped in unfamiliar rules. The rules are smoother, the system kinder, and the future possible. But nothing tells you how often you will miss your name being spoken the right way, or how success will feel smaller when no one saw the climb. Migration teaches you freedom and then charges you loneliness. It offers safety, then asks for your senses of belonging. You gain independence, but you lose the comfort of being known. You earn more, you explain yourself endlessly. Some days you are grateful, other days you are grieving, but both of them can live in the same breath. The hardest truth about migration is that it doesn't change your life overnight. It changes you slowly, quietly, and permanently. And one day you realize you did not live to escape home. You left to become someone who could build it again anywhere. This is the joy of migration if you move in the proper way. But when you migrate without the proper things that you need to, it could be frustrating. It could lead you to a lot of regret. And it without return. Always make sure that when you travel or when you migrate, you have the possibility of reconnecting with your family, of revisiting your fatherland, your home, your parents, your siblings, your relatives, and your friends. Always make sure you prepare yourself to travel in a rightful way so that you don't make that hard mistake. Because if you travel without preparation, you land yourself in uncertain environments. And once you travel there, always know that you have to obey the law. It is not something that it will be tolerated to you at a low cost. It might cost you a lot of energy. So think before you act, reflect before you execute, and make sure you do not lose what you already have better thinking. Dig be your hands into that box of fortune without risking anything. Be wise, be prudent before you make your decision. And if you must decide to migrate, dearest one, I would suggest pray, ask God's direction to lead you before you travel. Ask God to direct your thoughts. Ask God to help you discern where to travel, how to prepare yourself. Not everything that glitters is gold. Please be prudent so that you don't regret your time, your energy, your finance, which you have in order to get something you never prepared for. It is good to migrate. It's good to seek God's direction to know if where you are is your already your promised ground where God has prepared for you. Remember, migration is not for everyone. It is only for you to discern if God has prepared you to make it where you are or to migrate. Thank you. I am Sister Prisca Nwokorie in a moment with Sister Prisca. Please don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed. Share the video to others and please drop your comments. I would like to read them. God bless you. We are going to be back soon on this very channel. Please stay back. Watch other videos. Drop your comments and we'll be back to you. God bless your day. We'll soon be back.